Decoding the One Piece treasure? Was JoyBoy the first pirate king? Luffy, the world waits. Hello everyone, welcome back to Top Shounen. JoyBoy is an extraordinary man, a man from the ground but plays an important role in the history of Fishman Island. Somehow, he got acquainted with the mermaid princess, the Poseidon of that era. JoyBoy made a promise to Poseidon, but unfortunately he couldn't. But before he died, JoyBoy went to a mysterious island, where 25 years ago the pirate king gave it the humorous name, Laugh Tale. Here, JoyBoy left an impossible treasure, making people like Gold Rogers so surprised that he laughed with tears. What is JoyBoy's treasure? What is One Piece treasure? I will talk about it later, but now let's revolve around JoyBoy. JoyBoy, I wish I could be born in the same era as you, said Pirate King Gold Roger, when standing in front of the great treasure One Piece. As a person who appeared 800 years ago, JoyBoy is closely related to the Void Century. In addition, he also set foot on the island that even its existence is a mystery. And if the most free man in the ocean is the Pirate King, the pirate who can reach Laugh Tale is recognized, then we can consider JoyBoy as the first Pirate King, and Roger just followed in his footsteps. Only me. From here, I started to think about JoyBoy's defeat, as well as the ancient kingdom, and even what Luffy said. All are closely related. What kind of person is JoyBoy? Why is he calling Luffy JoyBoy again? Today, Top Shounen will join you in exploring this extremely interesting hypothesis. 1. JoyBoy, the ancient kingdom and One Piece treasure. We have discovered everything. We know the Void Century, we know the meaning of the name D, we know about ancient weapons. I at least know that in the old days, the Wano nation opened its doors to the world. Kojiki Oden wrote down the last things in his logbook, after he reached Laugh Tale. Therefore, it can be confirmed that JoyBoy is not the real name, but this character also has the initial D in the name. He went through 100 years of empty centuries, having been against God but with no success. And JoyBoy is also closely related to the ancient kingdom, even as its king. And the D clan are the people who founded this civilization. Basically the ancient kingdom is Big Mom's dream. She always aspires to create a multiracial kingdom where all live peacefully. In history there has existed such a society, the ancient kingdom, no class discrimination, no possession of slaves, all free to do what they want. That makes other countries uncomfortable, because the ancient kingdom is too strong. Races, allied nations like the Wano and the Mink clan are examples. Therefore, the 20 royals had to unite to erase them. For 100 years they spent to destroy the ancient kingdom, track down their descendants, and erase all traces related to it, later known as the Century of Empty. Because this brutal crime of genocide has not been recorded in history books, however, the Kojiki clan of the Wano kingdom has carved them onto the poneglyphs. More specifically, they also created 4 road poneglyphs that show the way to Laugh Tale, so that DS willful descendants will inherit JoyBoy. Another reason they were destroyed, perhaps because JoyBoy touched the interests of other rulers. JoyBoy wants to borrow the power of ancient weapons to destroy the red line that is dividing the world. He plans to convert the 4 seas into one term, and bring the mermaids up on the ground, peacefully coexisting, to welcome the sun with other races. However, he failed. If you ask where JoyBoy was beaten, I would like to boldly predict it at Marigosa. In the ice cellar of Pangaea Castle, there is a giant straw hat, which I think belonged to the former JoyBoy. The nobles saw that as a trophy, as proof of their victory. And Im-sama is the descendant of the one who defeated JoyBoy, so this person was allowed to sit on the derelict throne, making the 5 elders kneel. Somehow Im-sama's ancestors defeated JoyBoy, causing his plan to fail. However, JoyBoy did not die there, he still returned to Fishman Island, inscribing an apology to the mermaid princess, Poseidon. Then bring the entire treasure of One Piece to Laugh Tale. The direction map for the air was created by the Kojiki clan, divided into 4 parts and sent to close allies. Fishman Island has 1 blade, but it has disappeared unknown. Wano has 1 blade belongs to Kaido. Another first appeared on Zo Island, indicating where Big Mom got the road poneglyph. However, she used to live in Elbaf. Perhaps this giant kingdom is where Big Mom won the poneglyph journey. Because Elbaf is not affiliated with the world government, perhaps it used to belong to the ancient kingdom, so it was kept a stone, then lost by Big Mom. That is a bit of a theory about the ancient kingdom, and now it will be the One Piece treasure, before coming to the character JoyBoy. In chapter 967, Roger reached Laugh Tale, but he was too fast to do what JoyBoy wanted. The One Piece treasure in front of him, Roger laughed again, and I think JoyBoy engraved a message roughly like this: "Come here, congratulations on having the greatest treasure in the world, is freedom. Freedom is the highest concept of a nation." The Declaration of Independence in 1945 has a sentence uncle from the American Declaration of Independence, which is everyone has the right to life, freedom and freedom pursuit of happiness. But under the rule of the royal families, in slavery, no one has freedom. Even the nations in the coalition of the world government have to pay tribute if they want protection, they still have absolutely no freedom. In chapter 965, when Odin was surprised that there was an organization that ruled the world, Whitebeard said a sentence to him: "Surely you will be shocked. But in a way, your kingdom is still free." It was because of the seclusion of the port that Wano was free, the people were not enslaved, before Orokai led Kaido here. And a common motive in all of Luffy's fight is to reclaim the freedom of his friends, for the lands he goes to. From Alabasta, Drum, Dressrosa, Skypiea, Luffy always defeats the tyrant who rules, liberates the people. Next will be Kaido. In Enice Lobby and Cake Island, Luffy reclaimed the freedom for Robin, Sanji, and even in Impel Down he helped countless prisoners to gain freedom. In chapter 507, Rayleigh asked Luffy, "Can you really make it? The great journey will continue, surpassing all of his wild imagination. Can you conquer this vast ocean?" And Luffy replied, "I don't want to conquer anything, I just think the most free person in the sea is the Pirate King." Rayleigh smiled and asked again, "Is that so?" The reason Rayleigh laughed was because Roger said the same thing. When Shiki begged him to cooperate and rule the world, the Pirate King coldly replied, "I have no interest in controlling anything, Shiki. Without freedom, what is called a pirate?" What Luffy and Roger have in common is their desire to have the freedom to do what they love. Luffy simply wants adventure, wants to explore all of this ocean, not conquer it to dominate it. Although Roger is called a king, but he likes to be free, being king will have to rule his territory, for Roger it makes him a headache. In chapter 800, when 7 members of the Straw Hat fleet proposed to be loose juniors, he immediately refused with the reason, "Too restrictive," I said, "I will become the Pirate King, I don't need to be a boss at all." The simple reason is, Luffy likes freedom, so he doesn't want to bind, doesn't want to take the freedom of others. To Luffy, he did not consider them as subordinates, or juniors, but as friends. "No matter what your father and son, little boy, I don't want to be a crazy pirate. If you have any problems, just call me, I promise I'll come help immediately." I think you understand what you mean. For Luffy senpai, being a pirate king doesn't need to become big-faced, but just a free man. Understanding Luffy made Bartolomeo even more admirable of him, while the others volunteered to be allies, no matter whether Luffy liked it or not, because he wanted them to be free. They have chosen themselves according to their own wishes. Freedom is what every nation aspires to. Luffy has become acquainted with the mermaid, the giant Elbaf, the dwarf Tontada, the beastman is the mink race, the resident island in the sky, all races are enough. He showed them the value of freedom, and his father, the revolutionary dragon, wanted to bring freedom to the whole world, overthrow the slave-possessing Ao of Tien Long Nan. Gold Roger also yearns for freedom, which he inherently has, and is always free to do his own thing. But when it came to Laugh Tale, I saw JoyBoy's message, congratulating them on their freedom. That surprised Roger. What he always had is the biggest treasure JoyBoy left behind. And in fact, freedom is also the most valuable thing for every human being. There is nothing more precious than independence and freedom, you must all remember this saying, and I think it is a real treasure, since the price of freedom is always very expensive. Even if it is priceless, we cannot live if we lose our freedom. Nor is a country considered to be existing, if it is not independent. Now we will go back to JoyBoy, who I believe is also a free king. The ancient kingdom was not a ruling force, but they merely maintained peace and stability for allied nations. Each country itself has its own independence, freedom, without tribute as a vassal, like the current world government regime. Therefore, its king, JoyBoy, is extremely free. He was discovered and experienced civilization in many different countries. JoyBoy wants to bring peace and freedom to all races. Unfortunately he cannot defeat the powerful force of the 20-nation alliance. But the one who placed the One Piece treasure at Laugh Tale, once the most free character at sea, was also hailed as a king like JoyBoy. For himself he deserves the title, gender. I have wanted to work on the topic of One Piece treasure for a long time, but cannot think of any ideas yet. And I was extremely happy when the story broke, had time to reflect on it all, and then came up with this hypothesis. Freedom is a concept that has never been mentioned in any channel or page about One Piece. Don in Wano to me is freedom, when the old Shogun and Kaido rule was abolished. I hope Top Shounen can become the first channel in Vietnam to guess what One Piece is. You guys often save the video, wait for the Wano arc to end. Since Oda once revealed, at the end of the arc he will reveal about the One Piece treasure, as well as what's related to it. And my prediction is freedom. 2. Luffy, the world waits. Before talking about Luffy, I will talk about two legendary characters, Roger and Odin first. After returning from Laugh Tale, Roger and Rayleigh talked to each other. We were too fast, One Piece. Who do you think will find it? They went too early, because One Piece needed all three ancient weapons to make it, or in other words, they were the key to unlock JoyBoy's aspirations, which was DS Will. Remote waters, the day when the two kings meet, the whales will rejoice. We've waited so long, just a little more, this time it will be 10 years of birth, 15 years of growing up. It was 800 years after JoyBoy's time that another pirate king, along with another ancient Poseidon weapon, was born at the same time. Mentioning the whale makes me think of Laboon, the twin-head whale, and the two kings of course are Luffy and Shirahoshi. Shirley's prophecy was fulfilled, when the two of them met and became friends. Shirahoshi mastered her powers, and Luffy would guide her. On Fishman Island, it was Shirahoshi's strong will to help Luffy that summoned the kings of the sea, and only he was able to dominate the Poseidon. Besides, Pluton is always in Frankie's mind. Luffy is also helped by Robin. And I have hypothesized that the ability to make Momonosuke give orders to Zunisha is that of the last weapon, Uranus. It has the power that both Roger and Odin do not have, hears the voice of things, communicates and commands the elephant. Momo's strength is beyond count. It becomes the next shogun, opening the door to Wano and helping Luffy, as his father said. Wano, or rather the whole world, is waiting for one person. And when you show up after 800 years, our kingdom needs to welcome and join forces with that person. Odin knows all about history, about One Piece, so his words are not wrong. Furthermore, in Odin's diary, 20 years later, the next generation of powerful pirates will enter the new world. If I fail, they will be the ones capable of defeating Kaido. The moment Odin mentioned was this moment, when the supernovae teamed up to take down the two emperor. And among them, Luffy is the same person as Momonosuke, similar to Odin and Roger. However, the two seniors went too fast. They could not wait for Shirahoshi to be born, while Odin could not order Zunisha like Momonosuke. But the one who urged and strengthened Momo is Luffy. He also saved Shirahoshi, loved by her. 25 years ago, Gold Roger conquered the Great Voyage, but he could not change the world, bring freedom to mankind. So he used his life to create the era of pirates, waiting for the heir to his will and JoyBoy. 10 years of birth, 15 years to mature, plus exactly 25, is also this time. Everything is coinciding with the events that Luffy is in. He is the one Odin mentioned, the one who was awaited by the Wano nation, as well as the world. 800 years ago, JoyBoy failed, the king of freedom lost that freedom. But the current Luffy has one thing more than JoyBoy, that is the help of his father. The revolutionaries also share the ideal with JoyBoy. Just do as you please, Luffy, the time we meet will come, too, to question the world, revolutionary Monkey D. Dragon once said, making me sure that he will team up with his son in the final battle, to defeat Im-sama. At that time, the Mary Giosa mecha will be pulled down, the red line will be broken, 4 seas will intersect, then Sanji will find all blue, Nami can draw a map of the world. But most of all, before that Robin discovered the history of the drum, Luffy found One Piece, and brought freedom to all races. One Piece, this is what it means, when the world is no longer divided. That is my whole thought about One Piece treasure, about JoyBoy as well as the end of One Piece. As for DS Will, at present I cannot deduce, or have any ideas, so I have to make an appointment with you another time. This video is just my personal opinion for you to refer to. If you see it, please give the likes, share, and 1 channel registration to support Top Shounen. Goodbye and see you again. Yeah.